certainly dominated every round, and we're here to take your questions. So, anybody want to ask? Yes?
It was another dominating performance. Out of your last 24 rounds, you probably won 23 of them. But you didn't get the stoppage. Again, just like Joe Smith, Castillo looked a lot bigger than you. Do you consider going down to 68? Do you think that there's any pressure to get more knockouts? Because you're dominating fights, you're winning every minute of every round, but you're not getting knockouts. And the guys look much bigger than you in there.
Yes, everyone in light heavyweight division bigger than me, but I like this division because there are a lot of good fighters, and I feel comfortable in light heavyweight. What about knockouts? You know, my favorite fighters is Sugar Ray Leonard, Roy Jones Jr., Muhammad Ali. I like to watch their fights, how they move, how they show us their defense. Defense. And I like boxing because if you have not enough power, you can win someone. If you have not enough speed, you can use your movement and power. This is boxing. This is smart sport, and you can win the fight with your brain. What about knockouts? Yeah, of course I wanna go to the ring and in the first round beat my opponent, knock him out. But it's not the best way, I think, for me, because I'm not a puncher like Mike Tyson. I'm a boxer. I use my legs and my brain to get a win. And a lot of people in the world can fight with their brain.
Anybody else?
You are pretty dominant in the first round as you are in the 12th round. You have incredible conditioning, and it's clear that you're more of a finesse fighter, a boxer. How do you feel about the crowd wanting a knockout, and does that affect you in your, will that affect you in your career?
Для тебя, важно то, что болельщики ждут нокаут, и как-то это на тебя влияет. То есть ты был готов, в принципе, также боксировал в первом, в 12-м раунде, ты был хорошо подготовлен к бою, это было очевидно.
Of course, I want to make good fights for boxing fans. But if I listening the fans, I can lose. I have to listening my coach, who said me, you have to be patient, don't lose your concentration, and you have to box like you can, and you have to keep your belt to get a big chance for big fight. Who really wanna your belt and who really wanna can make a good fight against you. But because my last fights, I think when I was a challenger, I wanted to be in the TV. I wanted to be the champion. I was aggressive. I wanted to get the belt. But now I am a champion, and I don't understand why my challengers didn't wanna get my belt. They just spending the time in the ring against me, I think.
Kathy, the fight practically just ended, but from talks that you've had with Dmitry and the team, where could we go from here? Because as he's saying, the challengers really aren't stepping up. So possibly looking towards a unification. Has there been any talks of what could possibly be next?
No, it's too soon for that, and actually, World of Boxing is his lead promoter, and I am here as a partner, so when they need advice, we offer, but they won't make any decisions about the fights as they come. I can tell you from our experience, I had a very similar experience with Sergey Kovalev coming up. Nobody wanted to fight him either. As the pots get bigger and bigger, it gets a lot easier to get people to come in who want to come in and engage. Because I can tell you, there were moments in that fight where I got the feeling if Castillo had wanted to engage the way he was able to in spots, it would have been a barn burner, it would have been an amazing fight. So he's got to get to that level where those opponents are coming in who are capable. And it'll happen. It takes patience. He's very good that he's so patient, because he'll get there.
I have a question for Vadim. Vadim, you know Dmitry very well. You see him in the sparring, you see him in the training camp. How many gears he has more to fight those best fighters? Because we all know he wants to fight Beterbiev, we heard Canelo, we heard Gvozdyk, whoever. But how much better he can be? Is he one of those fighters who needs the bigger opposition to fight better?
Most fighters are like that, you know, and when there's going to be an opponent in front of him who wants to take his belt, it's going to be a totally different fight. And if he fights Gvozdyk or Beterbiev or Kovalev or Canelo or whoever, these guys are going to come to try to win the fight. And then that's going to be a totally different story. Like Kathy just said, they're going to engage. And that's going to give Dmitry the opportunities to do what he does. Did
you see this way of fighting even better than he fights right now in the training camp or in sparring from him?
He does what he does in the fight. He does all his life, I believe. You know, he's been doing that since his first professional fight. Some people don't realize that. Some people are like, oh, you know, Dmitry has lost confidence, or Dmitry is not the same, or he's not punching like he used to. No, he's done this since the first sparring in the pros. And like, for me, like as a fan, I love knockouts. But I hate a lot more when my fighters lose. So I don't really care, you know. The fans today, they were not disappointed with Dmitry not knocking them out. A lot of the fans there, they want to see Gvozdyk Bivol, and so do I. And that's going to be a real fight, and that's going to be exciting. But I don't even think Gvozdyk is going to go past Beterbiev. I think he's going to get knocked out in that fight. And that's when the fans are going to be disappointed, because their fighter, you know, it's not going to be a disappointment of their fighter not getting a win by knockout. One of those guys, I think, is going to be on the ground. I mean, it's a 50-50 fight, and it's going to be a real fight. But for me, as Dmitry's manager and a part of Dmitry's team, it's more important that he wins every time. I hope he wins as many times as Floyd Mayweather and becomes the biggest fighter in this era. And that's what it's about.
Thank you.
Dmitry, another fighter at light heavy who's having issues finding opponents, another good fighter, Gilberto Ramirez. I know he's top ranked, which is kind of ESPN, you're on DAZN, but being that you guys both want a high profile fight, a big name at light heavyweight, do you think that'd be possible to make sooner than later?
I hope it could be made, and I think it will be a better fight for me. And because he was a champion in super middleweight, and I understand he wanna be the champion again in light heavyweight, and he will try to do everything for victory. And this fight, I think, will be great for boxing fans.
Is that? I mean, I feel like he's probably the biggest name in the division who's not tied up right now. Kovalev has a fight in November. Gvozdyk and Beterbiev are fighting next week. I mean, is there another name that you feel that maybe is above his?
If he wanna fight for my, if he wanna fight for my belt, I will be glad to give him a chance to fight for my belt. For my next fight in when we can.
February. We asked for him.
Yeah,
for this
why
fight.
not?
He was in training camp. We asked to fight Ramirez for this fight. He said in an interview he wants to fight Bivol. We asked Eric Blasher, the matchmaker, said we'll fight Gilberto Ramirez this fight. Not as many fighters as you think want to fight whoever. It's actually not true. Castillo didn't have fights for a long time after Marcus Brown with anybody. Not because Castillo didn't want it. It's because most people don't want to fight Castillo. Most people don't want to fight Shalemba. One guy, Marcus Brown, wanted to fight Pascal, got knocked out. He had the opportunity to fight Dmitry Bivol for a couple $1 million right there, you know. And a lot of these guys, they don't really want to fight anybody. It just seems like they want to fight anybody. Gilberto Ramirez, we know him really well. You know, he's champion. You know?
I know him. He's a good guy. We know each other. We spar each other, and I respect him like a person. He's a good person, like a boxer. I respect him, and this guy really достоин.
Deserves.
Deserves a chance to fight for belt in light heavyweight.
When was